everybody, it's Chris Denman, and it's Virtual Happy Hour with We Are Live and Barkeep. Very excited to be here. We're here each and every Thursday at 4 o'clock. Thinking about changing it up. Let us know what you think. Maybe we should go a little later. Make happy hour go further into the night. Real quick, big thanks to everybody for supporting. Hit share. Let's get this thing popping. We have some very cool guests today. We've got the Maness Brothers playing some tunes. They're from right here in St. Louis. And I'll tell you more about our guest in just a moment. Quickly, let's say hello to our friends in Barkeep. That's Matt and Pat. They're from STL Barkeep. They make cocktails. They deliver cocktails. They tickle you with their beards. Hi, Matt. How are you?
I'm great. A lot less hair this week. I feel like a new person. It's fantastic.
I'm going to take that as an assault on my disgusting fat beetle look that I'm working. That's why I have a hat on. We truly look like shitty Mumford and Sons, the three of us today. Never has that been more apparent with me in my backwards hat. Pat Joya, you make cocktail videos and pro wrestler voices. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, buddy. How are you?
That was very somber. Bad week on Tinder? What am I doing?
Yeah, no, it was just crap week on Tinder this week. Everything went horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't talked to your parents in a week because of your bad week on Tinder, right?
Yeah, clearly, yes.
How's cocktail delivery going, guys?
We're all right. Just sent out our weekend reminder. So anybody tuning in out there, make sure you head over to silverliningcocktails.com to order your cocktails for delivery this weekend. And then we also just put tickets on sale for our first whiskey tasting event, which we are going to do with our friends, the Bourbon and Blondes podcast.
Nice.
We're going to do it Tuesday. It's $50. We are going to deliver 5 1-ounce pours of some higher end whiskeys, including the Maker's RC6, which you can't find, as a couple other whiskeys you can't find in St. Louis. And then we'll give them a private link to a private stream where will be the ladies from Bourbon and Blondes, and then Adam Harris, who is the national brand ambassador for American whiskeys for Beam Suntory. So you can buy your tickets for that now. We're bringing whiskey tastings to your house.
I like that. And if Pat could be packaged up in that too, I think sales will go through the roof.
Pat,
you guys sure?
Pat's going to do a cocktail video. That's something else. You're going to get a cocktail with your delivery. So it's 5 whiskey tastings, 1 cocktail, and then we're going to try and, make this a little bit more professional. No offense, Chris, but I might have to leave Pat's pro wrestling voice and sock puppet out of this one.
That's fair. I do have one question. Does your cocktail delivery deliver to Western Australia, namely Perth? Our guest today, Simone Springer, joined us live from Perth in Western Australia. Hey, Simone, How are you? What's happening?
I'm good. I was really enjoying listening about those whiskey tastings, and I can't help but think most alcohol tastings are just actually doing shots of like either wine or whiskey.
Is that
tastings?
Yeah, that's fair. Is that what you do at 5:30 in the morning or 5 a.m. in Australia?
Well, at the moment, I'm drinking out of a mug, so you know that either I'm having a coffee or my plan is just to get really fucked up.
I like where your head's at. Simone,
no one drinking out of a mug is drinking for pleasure. Right. It's yeah.
That's absolutely a thing. And I know in Australia you were privately bashing the United States of America and our inability to quarantine. What is happening? I'm curious. So for those of you watching, Simone's a very funny comic based in Australia, has performed in the U.S. before, working super hard. She has so many funny videos, has done virtual comedy shows, roast shows, all kinds of great things. So if you do go to Instagram or Twitter, Simone Springer, I believe Simone Springer Comedy.
Yes, if you go to my Twitter, I am a little more sassy than I am everywhere else. But yeah,
that's okay.
Join me. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So we were talking, and you have children. Where have they been the past few days?
At the moment, they're in bed because it's 5 a.m. here.
Lazy.
Yeah, they've actually gone back to school. So we've been really lucky here that we locked ourselves down really quickly. So we got up to 550 cases, and now we're down to 3. So we just went, rights? What rights? Yeah, have them. We don't care. Yeah, keep us safe. Do whatever you want. Yeah, whatever. And
That's
so
what happened with your pit bulls and your guns too. Damn it.
yeah, take them. We don't need them. It's fine. Yeah, keep us safe. Yeah, that is actually what happened. We had one mass shooting here. We had one big one. And then the government went, right, we're taking all of your guns. And we went, you've ruined it for the rest of us. And we just kind of gave them back. No, they had this buyout scheme where they were buying guns for like double what they were worth. So it was like people were selling them back to the government, and they were like, okay, you got a couple of months to like for us to buy it for a good price, or we're gonna come to take them off you. Well, not take them off you, but you'll then get fined or whatever.
Sure.
So yeah, we don't have mass shootings anymore because no one's got any guns.
All right, you're just bragging at this point.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So anyway, Australia is so smart. No, it does help that we're an island, like so isolated from everybody else, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair, but you all are essentially, I mean, it's probably not all the way back, but you're mostly back to normal. If your kids are at school, that's a pretty big deal.
So we just lifted it, so we're allowed to meet 20 people. So we're allowed 20 people at a time, and hopefully by the mid-year it'll be 100. But
if Australian independent comedy shows are anything like they are anywhere else in America, outside of like the Comedy Store or large places in New York or wherever, it seems like a good time to make excuses that like, man, we would have totally had more than 20 people here if if the rule wasn't in place, right?
Yeah, my first gig back is going to be in the next couple of weeks, and that's there'll be 5 comics and 15 patrons. So it's literally like going back to where I started, because I'm used to big shows now.
Right.
Like I perform with a group called the Motherhood. We always sell out our shows, so it's like, okay, cool, 15 people, let's frickin' rock this.
They pay the equivalent of $1,000 per ticket, though, so it works out, right?
Yeah, I think it's actually the opposite. We get paid like 2 cents.
That's generally the artists take the the beating in that situation.
No, we do actually get paid a lot better than you guys do in the States. I was surprised that so many people just do it for free. I mean, maybe they're not great, so that might be part of it. But like
everything's relative, Simone.
Yeah, getting paid $25 for a show. I was like, wow. Rough.
It happens. I am curious too. So you're going to have the 15. Are you guys doing like a virtual hybrid, or is it going to be like a regular comedy show, just 15 people?
Going to be a regular comedy show with 15 people. So I have done a Zoom show here where it was actually at a club when we were allowed for work to gather. So there were 3 techs, a camera guy, and 3 comics. And that was a Zoom show, but I got to do it on stage. The only problem was that they muted all the people. So I could see in this laptop, like in front of me, all these faces, and I couldn't hear anything. So I was just like, put your hands up if you're divorced. And there's one woman who was dancing. I'm like, obviously she's divorced because she's having a great time. Like, what do you do? Yeah. No. So I had to wing it.
I hope that you all can kind of lead the way. I mean, there's some stuff opening up here, which again, I have no problem with. If like you want to try it out and you want to do your version of this, I'm totally in with that, and I hope it works out.
I'm listening. Well. I'm ready to steal your idea. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm not going to let you take this and spread it all over Australia, but.
Like koalas with chlamydia. Go ahead.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, are koalas?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are koalas as lovable as we are led to believe here?
No. Well, it depends if you get them on a good day or not, I guess. They do have very sharp claws, so when you're holding them, like you have to make sure that you're kind of covered. But the funny thing that most people don't know, and I use this when I'm over in the States, is that almost all of the koalas actually have chlamydia. Like 100% of the koalas have chlamydia. So we let them do that because it controls the population. And so, just if you come to Australia, don't have sex with a koala or anyone in a Metallica t-shirt.
Hit share if you agree with that, everybody. Let's hit this. What a great point. I think that's valid here as well. So let's think of other Australian things. We don't have to talk kangaroos. I think that's probably played out. I'm guessing that once things are back up and running, you're gonna want to get to come back over. I know you do some stuff in Vegas. You've popped to Los Angeles a few times. Are you planning on jumping over here more once things kind of settle down? Like it has been fun, kind of watching your career grow from afar, very oddly from a van. But do you want to start coming over here more? And do you think is that like a dream for? I mean, you see people start over. You'll see people sell out in other countries and other areas, and it's like I guess maybe they see the U.S. as a final frontier. Is that in your? It seems like you live a great life. So I'm wondering why waste your time coming over, other than to maybe make some new friends.
Yeah, I do have a lot of friends over there. So the last I think 4 years I've come over at least once. Last year I came twice. There was another year where I was over a couple of times. So I do enjoy coming over to the States, and so hopefully that'll keep happening. But to be honest, I view it as more of a holiday. Like I hustle way harder when I'm here. We do a lot of festivals where, like I did a festival in Adelaide where I did 14 shows in six nights. I did Perth Comedy Festival, and this year was a little lighter. I think it was about 18 shows in 30 days. So I'm used to that. And when I come to the States, I don't have my kids. I don't have to sell tickets or, worry about advertising because I'm nobody. So I just turn up and hang out and do whatever comes my way. So yeah, it's a fun time. I love coming.
You did a very funny quarantine parody video based off a Bush song. Have your kids grown tired?
Yeah.
How's it go?
I just said one like quarantine, but yeah, have a look.
Check it out on Twitter. It's very funny. I'm curious. Are your kids tired of you? Are you like grabbing a spoon, trying to perform for them at all times? Are they done with you yet?
Well, no, I try. The one hard thing is when I'm trying to get them into my videos, because I do a lot of stuff on being a mom or like how hard it is. And so I'm like, hey kids, can you say this for me? And just stand here and say this. And sometimes they love it. Like they love being part of it. And other times they're like, I don't want to. And I'm like, I can't do this video without you.
Mommy needs views.
Come be funny with mommy. Yeah, but it's like you have those ideas in your head, and like there's been like a comedy competition out here called quarantine comedy on Instagram.
Yes.
And not to brag, there's been 3 of them, and I've won it twice. And
okay.
And
cut her feed, please.
That's partly because of their videos. Like they're funny little guys, so I just have to write them a little script, and I'm like, all right. You need to say, like I did one where I was asking, what have you guys learned in quarantine? And my oldest says, hangovers can last up to 2 days. And I'm like,
that's so good. I like that a lot. And I know you recently had a birthday. Happy birthday. I know you were waiting for me to say that over a video conference interview. So congrats on making your morning.
Yeah, I just turned 20. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, you're kicking ass, and you've done a wonderful job. Everybody should go check out Simone Springer Comedy. And any other links or anything we need to know about for people to check out?
You can go to the Comedy Lounge, and you can pay a whole $1 to watch one of my sets. Otherwise, just follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Simone Springer Comedy. You'll find me.
Very nice. Simone, let's get you back on soon. I know you got to go do radio and for your other gigs. So thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure.
And, let's talk again soon.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
See you, Simone. Simone Springer at Simone Springer Comedy. Check it out. Pat, Matt, how about that accent?
I want to go to Australia.
I definitely need to go to Australia. I keep finding bands there I want to go check out too.
Yeah, imagine having a cool comic to show you around a cool city in Australia too.
That'd be
Just
great.
no
Yeah.
Metallica t-shirt, Pat.
No Metallica t-shirts.
I was so bummed out I didn't have my Metallica t-shirt on. I was gonna just be, it's like, oh man, the one day.
Yeah,
the one day I'm not wearing my Metallica t-shirt.
You can't argue that. We've got cocktail videos to get to. Again, if you're just tuning in, it's Chris Denman and Matt and Pat from Barkeep. Fellas, who are we seeing first?
Leave it to you, Matt.
Let's go with Pat, because producer Matt never confirmed if he got mine.
Oh, Matt, the producer. Do we get a confirmation?
Friend, I have them all.
Oh, very nice. And also, stick around. We've got the Maness Brothers playing some tunes here in a bit. We have a very special studio set up for that, too. I'm very excited to see that. So, again, thanks to Simone Springer for coming on. And let's see our first cocktail video.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is I, Gunnar Bulblock, from the dynamic tag team, the Lumberjacks. And I've got drinks for you today. Now, we kind of set ourselves up on a nice, kind of rainy, cloudy day today to make ourselves the Lumberjack Boulevardier right here. The recipe if you need it. But what we're going to do, I've already put them in the glass. We're going to use 1 ounce of Four Roses single barrel bourbon. We're going to use a 1/2 ounce of the Game of Thrones House Stark Edition Scotch. 3/4 ounce each of Contrado Bitter, tasty stuff, and Punta Mesa Vermouth. We put those all into our mixing glass. If you don't have a mixing glass, use a pint glass, use a jar, use a vessel of some sort which to hold your swole. Put that in there. Afterward, we take ice. Right in. Boom. Bam. One more. Oh yeah. So then, we stir the drink. If you're like me, you have to watch out for your tassels to get into your cocktail. Stir for about 20 seconds. Watch me flex in the meantime. Oh yeah. So then we've got our nice rocks glass. This one is a nice little piece from Ben Shot. Boom. Fill glass with ice. And go ahead and use whatever you got to strain with and pour it over your rocks. Or onto your cutting board, for you are not a delicate flower. After that, we're going to take the small axe and we're going to cut off a little bit of lemon peel. You don't want to nick your fingers, so be careful and use a good sharp little axe. Give it over a little twisty. Squeeze in those citrus oils into your drink and put them right in. After that, sip and enjoy. Quite sippable, quite enjoyable. Perfect for this lumberjack. So, I'll come up here. We'll talk a little bit about it. So what I got for you here, we got our Lumberjack Boulevardier recipe right here. Bingo bango. Come out, see us dominate in the tag team scene. Love you all. Oh yeah.
That was something. Matt? This is my favorite thing. I can't tell.
I love the looks on both of your faces every time.
It's amazing. I love it. And it's a silly show we do. I just see Matt, the fun-loving, responsible businessman, just like imagining the worst scenarios possible. I used to do this too. I forget that you guys you haven't done broadcast media. You think of these things differently than me. I could say something horrific and be like, well, people will forget in an hour. I forget that you guys care about your well-being and your reputations and things like that. So I picture Matt just envisioning like the most important client he could ever have tuning in and then going, I'll never have a cocktail from Barkeep again because of this brute. That's not what's happening, Matt. And that's
Yeah,
what's
because that's the guy that shows up when I'm out working these parties and stuff.
Yeah,
too, so.
right. It's the people that fall asleep on the provided couches at Mardi Gras that are typically around.
I do have to tell you that there has been a employee handbook formulated throughout quarantine.
I have the handbook. Yeah, I printed it out. I've read it. He made me a handbook.
We might need to make some edits, Pat.
You're punishing the man for his creative. Let him spread his wings.
Great. I love him. I when he doesn't have a crazy video, I'm disappointed.
Me too.
But
And
I don't have it in me, so I want to know who the tag team partner is that he's talking about. Because
it's my brother Haywire.
oh wow. Okay. Well, producer Matt, do
Yes.
we have anything? Or can we give a little tease for some treats that you have for next week?
You know what? I will work on getting you a treat in this machine by the end of this episode, just to let you get a glimmer of what's coming next week.
Okay. Also, with next week, we're gonna improve a few things around here, but one of those that we're really excited about is our friend Matt McElrath set up our musical guest for next week, and that's we'll announce that right now. Sean James, he's a very popular artist. You can check out the Gaslight Session on the Media Outlaws channel. It's got about 3 million views. So Sean is a very talented, world-renowned artist. So we're excited to bring him on the show next week. So that'll be a very fun time with Barkeep and us.
I had a really good recommendation from someone who tunes in. Her name's Vanessa, and she recommended that for one of the cocktails, we post the recipe ahead of time, and so then people at home can make the cocktail.
What a great idea! I love that.
Why
she
did we
came
not
up with
think of that before?
I don't know. Why didn't we?
Did you think of this idea and I just
like
forgot
week one?
About it?
Oh, week one. That's
Hi, producer Matt here, just glaring at you from the side of the screen as he loaded your video 10 minutes ago.
No, absolutely. That's going to be a part. Vanessa, thank you so much for tuning in. That is a great idea. We all work very well together, and we need to share those cocktails. And Matt and I are going to get together, work on getting those out, and maybe we'll include a little photo of Pat in the in the cocktail.
You guys really want to do that?
recipes.
Do you really want to do that?
I do.
All right.
Chris, we have a lot of ideas that you and I talk about on the phone.
Listen,
So
far be it from me. Far be it from me to say that we should talk about something 5 weeks in a row. I'm so bad at that. But at least we're busy.
You called me yesterday, pal. 3 o'clock.
At least we're busy. That's all I'm saying. So we'll get you guys some cocktail recipes so you can play along at home. That is on the docket. Docket? Yes. Is that? Yeah. We'll be docketing that. Matt, we got to see Pat's lovely cocktail video. We do have the Maness Brothers coming up here in just a bit. What do you have for us today, sir?
I made a margarita-style cocktail with just a little bit of theatrics, nothing close to theatrics, of course. Just a fun serving vessel.
Okay, I'm into it. Let's check it out. Barkeep's next drink.
Hey everyone, it's Thursday, so that means virtual happy hour. We're trying to bring on spring here in St. Louis. So today I'm going to make a twist on a margarita. I'm going to put in 3/4 ounces of lime juice to start, and then 1/2 ounce of orange liqueur. And then I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of strawberry rhubarb honey syrup. And we'll do 2 ounces of salsa tequila. We'll do 2 dashes of the Bitterman's Burlesque Bitters. That's hibiscus and black pepper. Throw some ice cubes in here. Go ahead, give this a good shake. today's serving vessel, we're going to use a hollowed out pineapple. I already got some ice cubes in there just to speed things up. Go ahead, strain this in. Use a couple of these extra cubes here. And then I'm going to cut some of my anise hyssop for garnish. Throw a little straw in there. Voila, strawberry rhubarb honey margarita.
Chris, you okay, bud?
I don't want to talk. I just want to see that. Drink again. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Look at that. Look at it. Look at it.
It's in a pineapple.
That's fantastic. Wow.
We have to give Mrs. Barkeep credit. So she hollowed out the pineapple earlier this week, and she was like, "You should use this for your video on Thursday." And she was right.
She absolutely was. That looked fantastic, Pat. No, I loved your voice too, but that
It's okay, man. You had a pineapple.
right?
Yeah, like I didn't have a pineapple. My drink would have been awful on a pineapple.
How say you're doing something at an event, just like you will again soon, someday, Barkeep. How difficult is that to serve that to a party of 150 people? Do you just make a hard and fast rule that says, we'll make as many as you want, it's going to cost this? Or do you say, like, hey, everybody gets one fruit-filled drink?
I think we would do one, like, okay, 150 pineapples we'll hollow out, and then you got to reuse the pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is that there's a lot of booze that fits in those pineapples too.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
They're walking around with like a pitcher.
Yeah.
By your third pineapple, there's questions.
I was gonna say, like, I'm just gonna walk around with two in hand, and it's the ultimate double fisting move, right?
Yeah, I think so. That would be quite impressive.
Very much so.
It has been requested in the comments that Pat wrestles a pineapple.
Just a pineapple?
Just the pineapple.
Just
Okay.
Just
Not
one.
the tree.
Don't give me ideas.
Pineapple.
Must it be filled with booze?
I can't wrestle a pineapple filled with booze. I'm just going to drink it.
Well, you've been wrestling with your sexuality for a while. I think you'll figure it out, Pat. It's okay.
Good point. Good point.
We've been meaning to bring that up on the air.
Hollow them out, I have to say.
What was that, Matt? I was too busy laughing at my own joke. Sorry, go ahead. No.
What'd you dig in there, Matt? What do you got?
A lot of room in those pineapples when you hollow them out.
Yeah, and that could get weird. Real quick before we get to the Maness Brothers, can we remind everyone again about Silver Lining and how we can get drinks? I saw our friend Teresa had let people know that she's ordered hers. Very much waiting for the delivery tomorrow, whenever those are going out. What do you have available, and how do people get them?
Silverliningcocktails.com. The menu this week, there is 4 different canned cocktails: a cucumber mule, a gin Ricky, a Paloma, and a bourbon honey basil iced tea. There's also large format batch cocktails. We have a blackberry honey margarita. We've got a twist on an old fashioned. We've got a strawberry mint gimlet. So yeah, you order online, and then we show up in the afternoons on Friday and Saturday and deliver your cocktails. So you don't have to leave your house. It's a great, starting to have some, social distancing parties, small groups of 10. It's a great thing to do. You're having a couple people over, order some cocktails. We're also trying to figure out the policies and procedures to start doing some smaller group parties where we'll actually go and bartend. So that's coming soon. You can find us at the Tower Grove Farmers Market Saturday morning. So that's exciting, but we're selling batch cocktails to go because they don't want people gathering, but lots of stuff going on. The Brentwood Farmers Market Sunday. Pat will be there. If it makes people show up and buy cocktails, he can wear the lumberjack outfit.
Okay, we've got official go on that.
It's supposed to be raining and chilly. I don't know if I can go that little clothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
We'll have like an altered cold version.
He's like a perfect medley of the Ultimate Warrior, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and the Macho Man.
Nailed it. You guys just totally like that's the three wrestlers I was like, let's smash these together.
They're great wrestlers.
They definitely were, and let's get you. Let's raise some funds, and get some horse meat, some juice. Yeah, that's what. If a guy gets popped for steroids, he's I had some bad horse meat. Yeah, that's what we need to. That's what we need to make sure happens with you. Again, visit Barkeep online, social media, all that good stuff. Quick reminder: we're doing our trivia tonight with George Remus, King of the Bootleggers Trivia. We're doing that at 6 tonight, so you can get a double dose. We always have a good time. We're heading to Chicago to cheers their bartenders tonight. So big shout out to George Remus and the fine folks at MGP. Pat, Matt, I don't know if you've had the pleasure of seeing our musical guests out and about. They're very talented, and I'm very excited to bring on the Maness Brothers. They're live from a secret location in St. Louis. It appears to be a library. Hello, fellas.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm better now. This has come together quite well. Where are you guys playing at today?
We are off Jefferson Street at Nate Graham's house.
That is he arguing with Trump voters in the Facebook comments currently?
Oh, yeah.
No,
I wish he was.
I am wearing overalls though.
Let's see Big Papa Nate. Get him on camera. Let's see these. All right, let's see the producer. Guys, well, there, perfect. That's the producer. Big shout out to Nate Graham for having our musical guest over today.
Oh, yeah.
Fellas, for those who don't know you, where are you from? I know you've toured with our musical guest coming on next week. I know you've hit Alaska, Europe, and then you've done a lot of stuff around here in St. Louis. Give people just a quick overview of who you guys are, where you're from, and what's going on, man.
Well, we're from here, St. Louis, and we're supposed to be in Alaska right now, pumping our new record out, but obviously we're not. But we've been touring for the past 5 years or so, and put out a couple of records.
Yeah.
And just always keeping on trucking and traveling and doing our thing, and I don't know. You got anything?
I think that's the
we're
answer.
stoked to be doing this and getting to play a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. Like, have you guys been able to play much? Have you been doing any live streaming, or is it? I know you all stay busy.
We did once.
Yeah.
Once in the live stream thing. We have like I haven't even owned a laptop in.
We did it with a
7
cell
years.
phone, and it was fun. It was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. But we haven't been doing much. We've been quarantining it up. Our freaking parents had COVID. They're over it though. So
I'm happy to hear that.
Now.
Yeah,
yeah,
and they're here in the area.
Letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're about an hour west. But they even got a letter in the mail from the health organization that's a certification of being cleared.
They better hang that up.
Pretty wild. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, right.
It's extremely strange times, and if you guys do, if you can, if it's the new album or one in the future, put that in the album. Put that in the photo of it, like an old CD booklet. I think you guys gotta celebrate
we should.
that.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
Absolutely
for sure,
should.
man.
Guys,
cool.
if you're just tuning in here on Virtual Happy Hour with We Are Live, we've got the Maness Brothers. They're going to kick things off with a song called Drive Me. And shout out to John and Nate for getting things kicking over at the studio. Hit it, boys.
Nice. Thanks for having us on.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take these off. Let's do it.
Well, I tried so hard. Well, I can't do it on my own. Well, I tried so hard. Well, I can't do it on my own. on my own. Well, I tried so hard, well, I can't do it on my own. Try me and my soul. Try me and my soul. Take me where I must go. Drive me and my soul. Drive me, drive me, drive me. Drive me and my soul.
If you guys are digging that Maness
put
Brothers
these back
sound,
on.
go follow the Maness Brothers on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. They'll keep you updated. And be sure to hit share so other people can enjoy this. They're going to play 2 more songs for us. So you guys, you would be in Alaska right now. You've made it up there before.
Right.
I always find entertainers going to places like Alaska, I always find that to be super interesting, and maybe it's not quite as interesting as I think, but you have to think just because of the location,
Super
the
interesting.
people, I'm glad to hear that, because the people up there have to be
Oh,
starved
yeah.
for entertainment.
It's the most different. It was more foreign than going to Poland. Was going to Alaska. I mean, it was freaking crazy.
It was one of my favorite tours, absolutely.
The people there are like, in the best way possible, they were the most hillbilly kind of people you'd ever see in your lives, like country style. I mean, everyone had like 10 cars in their freaking driveway that freaking half worked, half didn't work. We showed up, and Justin Boot was the guy that got the whole thing going. And it was he woke us up right. We got off the plane at 2 a.m. He woke us up at 6. He's like, we got to work on the RV so you guys can go on the tour, because it's just like we totally gutted out, and we had to go in there and put these spruce tree shavings all in it.
Moose.
We paneled it out in spruce like right before we left, and it stalled right when we got out into the freaking driveway. And the whole time it didn't have front brakes, and you couldn't idle it. If you idled it, it would die. It was crazy. I mean, and he left us with it by ourselves. We got it stuck in mud like the next freaking night. Like we couldn't. It's just freaking insane out there. I mean,
Did you expect that to happen? Was that part of it, or were they kind of
hell no?
Okay, I was gonna say
No.
did they know that you two just happened to be handy? Like that could be, that could have been
I
disastrous
think he
for somebody
maybe
else.
knew that, but it was it was insane. I mean, we were just kind of like the whole time we're just kind of freaking. We might die on this trip. I mean,
What
we
a rock
almost hit
star way to
moose
go.
on the highway. It
There's
was
moose
freaking
on the highway.
crazy.
Yeah, I think people too don't realize like how giant moose are as well. Like they're
Dude,
like
it
prehistoric.
was freaking nuts. And if they hit that RV, all there was a little freaking half-inch of spruce until it would have been in the RV if it would have hit it. The whole thing rocked too. I mean, it was just like going back and forth. I mean, it broke in half at one point. The actual RV top and the bottom broke in half, so it was like this at the end of the trip when we got to the festival finally. Luckily, we were done with it. It was, I mean, it's no joke. If you got to see the pictures, I mean, I think it'd even be crazier if you saw the pictures. I mean,
Right.
insane.
No, that makes sense. And
It was one of the best trips we've ever been on,
that-
with all that considered.
It could only go that way. And the
Plus,
fact
they
that,
don't have any rock and roll bands there.
yeah, I would say, and
They
two
don't
brothers too. Yeah,
Right.
for you all popping around like that. I mean, do you feel like you made more of a connection with the people up there due to the lack of entertainment that they get to see? Like, I feel like if somebody sees the Maness Brothers in Alaska after having not seen a show in 8 years, they're going to be
I'll
fans
tell
of
you
yours for
what,
life.
think a lot of people had told us that they hadn't seen anything like it in a couple of years. You know, one guy
years since
came
the
up to us.
90s, they were saying.
Yeah.
This
captain
pilot guy, this called Captain Ron.
Yeah, he built his own airplanes. He just fly
He
around
hitchhiked-
and some homemade airplanes.
And like everybody up in Alaska like hitchhiked there, or some crazy story from like freaking California when they're like, oh, we hitchhiked here when we were 16, we just started living here, and now they're freaking like flying planes and shit. But I mean, it's a lot of bluegrass bands up there, so some of the venues we started playing, they were like, dude, what in the hell? You can't even do this shit here.
Heavier
so a lot of
sound,
times
too.
we had to chill out. Besides the music festival up there had a freaking 20-foot flame that you could control. I could control with my foot. Like when I did a solo, you just had a flame that shot 20 feet over the stage as some dude just rigged up. I mean, it was like not safe at all.
Skull with a disco ball.
And you could walk on there was a pirate's plank you could walk on. Was just like a 2x6.
What is
that you could walk into the crowd? It was nutty, man. I mean, it was just crazy shit.
It sounds like a Wes Craven movie and not a tour. Like, what is happening? That's insane.
No, it was dude. We got there too. We had to build a stage. No, like part of the stage. We had to.
I think you just got tricked into coming up to do work.
We might have.
Yeah, sure. Bring your instruments, boys.
But damn, that was definitely one of the best shows freaking ever. That was like 1 year ago.
Big time.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Holy, we played at 3 a.m. It was still light outside.
David's birthday.
Yeah, it was my 32nd birthday, and I was with a flamethrower on a fucking pirate plane, just getting it in Alaska at 3 in the morning with the sun still out. It was crazy.
As you would totally expect on a tour
Right.
in Alaska.
Real quick, I'm curious: does this look familiar? It's the
yeah, that's it. That's when we got it stuck.
Nice.
That's
the
us
RV.
stuck.
The
And I
RV
drove that
that's
shit in there. This guy Johnny Lungs. It was like 1 in the morning. He's like, "Oh yeah, you can make it in. You can make it in." I'm like, "Dude, it is all mud." He's like, "Well, I got tools to get us out." And I'm in Alaska thinking like, "Yeah, he probably does." We got it stuck, of course, like right off the bat. And then he got his Toyota Tacoma out, like a really shitty one, like from freaking like like the first one ever made. And he can't move it at all. He gets that thing stuck. So they're both stuck. And then we wake up in the morning and there's like people that need to get out of the street because there's only one way. And they're like, "Dude, what's going on?" I'm like, "Well,
This fucking guy.
and then get this
It's a 14
freaking
moose pileup.
supposedly this professional snowboard girl, I forget her name.
She was a
What is
professional
happening?
snowboarder.
At one point, she was a professional. She was like,
She
and she was
also-
smoking reds, like freaking like.
She
chain
played the
smoking.
festival later with us.
Yeah, and she came in with this little Ford F-150,
She pulled
chained
out
it
with
up,
a big old chain. It was
and I'm
amazing.
trying to talk to her, and she's just like fucking not even acknowledging me at all. And she just fucking yanks that thing out somehow or another, and I'm freaking. There's smoke everywhere. Holy shit! It was crazy. We got out. And then, of course, the Justin guy that gave us the RV shows up like 20 minutes later
Right when we get
with
it
a
out.
fucking bulldozer
Yeah, he's got a
bobcat thing on a
bulldozer
trailer.
Bobcat for the festival.
And I'm like, where'd you even
Crazy
get that
ass.
thing at? Because he gave us his RV shit. I'm like, what is happening here?
This is like a cartoon.
It was
Yeah,
like that.
I wrote a story about the whole thing.
Yeah,
you guys
he's-
can get it online.
He's got a whole book about it, like a whole 3 or 4 chapter book on it.
Is it just called Mad Libs? Like, this feels fake.
Nonsense, tall tales, and other lies.
Yeah.
The
Perfect.
Maness Brothers tour journal.
Hell yeah, I'm glad to see. I'm glad to see that picture of that RV. We were supposed to have that same RV on this trip too.
Oh yeah.
I see. Now that's on you.
He's talking about doing live
That
streams
was,
out of it.
I
Maybe.
grew to love it. I grew to absolutely love that thing.
All right, I'm into that. I know you guys have another song, but I can't stop real
Yeah.
quick. I love thinking that there's a guy in Alaska that it's like he hasn't seen a concert since the 90s, and he's like, "You guys tour with the Gin Blossoms, or like what's going on?" I love to think of that. Guys, we've got 2 more songs from the Maness Brothers.
Nice.
What's the next one called, fellas?
It's called I'm Gone.
I'm gone.
I'm going to Alaska,
new record.
baby. Have at it, boys. The Maness Brothers. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook. Here we go.
Thanks, brother.
I turned 30 last year. I got no one to blame but me, but that's who I feel. But I won't let this life, but I won't let this life of mine disappear. But I wasted all this time, I nearly lost my mind. I wasted all this time, I wasted all this time. I nearly lost my mind. I wasted all this time. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. I ain't going down. I ain't going down. I ain't going down. I ain't going down.
Maness Brothers doing it right, everybody. Guys, Pat, Matt from Barkeep, you digging this? How great are they?
Yeah, pretty awesome. I'm into this.
Miss seeing those guys around.
And thanks again for having us on.
Absolutely. We got the Maness Brothers playing tunes. Barkeep's here. We had Simone Springer video
We're gonna
in
do
from...
another song called "Dip My Sins in the River." Oh, you gotta. Is he talking?
Don't worry, man. I'm just yapping. I got to ask you guys, and I wanted to bring the Barkeep guys in too. You toured Europe with Sean James. We're bringing Sean on Virtual Happy Hour next week. Give us the lowdown on what it's like being a couple dudes from St. Louis and hitting the road to play Europe.
Man, it was incredible.
It was freaking. It was great. Of course, it sounds what it sounds like. But yeah, we were pumped. I mean, Sean hit me up one time. It was like really early in the morning, and he was like, "Hey, do you guys want to go on tour in Europe?" And I'm like,
"Oh yeah."
I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like totally asleep, and I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And he was like, "Well," he was like, "It's just you got to just sell merch and shit, no pay." And I'm like, "Fuck it, dude. That sounds." And I was actually like, "Dude, I don't know if I can do that or something." At the beginning, I was half asleep.
We bought our plane tickets.
Finally, I was like,
over
of
there.
course we're gonna do it, but yeah, shit, it was freaking wild, and of course Sean just like a superstar over there.
Dude,
So
doing it with Sean was awesome because we had some hostels to stay at, beer to drink backstage, and some cool green rooms.
yeah, he had it all taken care of. He picked us up in this like freaking big old Sprinter van, and we fucking had a driver and everything. Timo, or freaking German driver, was hilarious.
Well, it made it badass because after going by ourselves and us having to do everything, it was like, geez.
Dude, yeah, the second time we went by ourselves, and it was fucking, we drove ourselves. It was
David drove the whole time because
it was a stick shift, so I had to drive the whole time, and Jesus Christ, we got like $800 worth of speeding tickets.
We're sleeping in the van and like
it was crazy
parking lots and shit.
It's a lot different. But
it's a lot like touring the U.S., except for you take a plane over there, rent all this shit,
and people come to your shows.
I can't speak any other language, so it's a little harder.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too. I mean, I'm sure, I think I don't know whether it's cocky or not. I think the fact is enough people know or understand English that are going to come see an American rock band come out.
That is
So.
the biggest help
Very
ever.
true. We played Czech Republic for the first night of our last tour, and the promoter couldn't speak
yeah,
English.
Belina,
We pulled up,
Czech
and they were
Republic.
like, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what's going on? No one speaks English at
There
all.
was one or two people who
One
spoke English.
broken English, and we hung out with them
And
the
they
whole
were getting
night.
us drunk all night.
So freaking drunk.
And
We played for like 4 or 5 hours. We just kept playing because we were like, do we want to keep playing? They're just like, no one could understand what we were saying. We could understand what they were saying. They're just like, oh yeah.
Well, we didn't really know how much we were selling our merch for either because it's like
No idea.
20,000 of their dollars, and we're just like, yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds
it's like-
awesome. Like I don't know.
Literally $10,000 equals out to like $15 or something of check money. So
difference
we're like
yeah.
$20,000 check bucks for this. Hell yeah, let's do it. Bring it up. We'll take all of it. We get back. We got like $45. We're just like, okay, well that was weird.
You could have retired.
Right? We're like
Mom, I'm
Thousands.
coming home and I'm rich.
thousands of check bucks.
Wow.
But
Huh.
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Zlotys. Is that what they are?
Zlotys.
Pat, Matt,
Maybe.
are you accepting check money at the next Barkeep event that will get the Maness Brothers to play?
We take it all over PayPal.
We'll take whatever we can get, man.
Yeah, does it spend?
Yeah.
Then yes.
Check bucks?
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll spend.
That's
I
what
got,
John Beebe's paying us in.
Okay. Yeah. You can use my money in Dinmania, so we'll make sure that is available. The Maness Brothers have one more song, and Barkeep, they do this with us
Special
every
one
Thursday.
For you guys.
Sweet guys, take care. Get it rocking. Let's hear that last song, and then I'll come back and say goodbye.
This one's a chill one.
Yeah, we're gonna chill. We rocked you guys out, so now we're chilling it down.
If my sins in the river, let them flow downstream. Cleanse my mind of the burden that I laid on me. But I've never been a man of Jesus. But no lights ever shine down on me. But Lord, I've got my demons buried deeper than I can see. Dip my sins in the river, let them flow downstream. Cleanse my mind of the burden that I lay on me. Well, Lord, hoping that you got something to say. So dip my sins in the river, let them flow downstream. Cleanse my mind of the burden that I laid on you. So dip my sins in the river, let them flow downstream. Cleanse my mind of the burden that I laid on me.
The Maness Brothers bringing it home. Wonderful work, guys. Big thanks to John and Nate for getting you guys set up over there. Guys, thank you
Man,
so much
thanks
for
so
coming
much.
on. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys so much. Feels
That was-
good playing some music.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. That was great to get to play, and so I'm glad you guys invited us to play on the show.
And tell Sean we said freaking what's up, dude. I'm pumped you guys have him on your next.
It'll be a hell of a
show.
time, and
Yeah,
you guys did a great job
absolutely.
today. So, guys, go support the Maness
Thanks,
Brothers. They're going to be playing live shows again. They'll have albums you need to buy, album you need to
we
listen
got it.
to. And
July 4th worldwide on Maness Records. God bless the Maness Brothers' new album.
that's huge. That's congratulations on that, guys. We're excited to see it. Matt, Pat, we've got Remus Trivia at 6 o'clock. I know one of you will be joining us for that. That'll be a good time. Guys, in the meantime, support Barkeep, support the Maness Brothers, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to We Are Live on iTunes or check out the Media Outlaws TV YouTube page. Anything before we head out, Matt and Pat?
I got nothing extra, Matt. What are we talking? We got the deliveries. What else we doing? We got anything else?
I'm sure I'll have some sort of idea before the day's over.
Well, tell you what, we're gonna get those recipes out to people, and we're gonna make that happen. Matt and Chris making it happen, baby. For the Maness Brothers, for Simone Springer, for Barkeep, it's Chris Denman. We'll be back next week, Thursday, same time. See you guys.